are such an asshole.
Oh, how you kids doing? AssholeConsulting.com. Where the world's only professional asshole answers your questions, make your lives easier. And this is going to be a good one. Although I'm kind of interested, me and Chad, not to do a tangent, but I host or co-host, I'm a guest on Chad Elkins' show, the Elkins Accounting Hour. He used to work for the Big Four. He's now independent CPA, makes a lot of money, And we try to get young people, particularly, to go into accounting because there's just a desperate need for it. It's a solid job. You don't need to get a master's degree just to become a bookkeeper, but above all else, you can work remotely. It's one of the easiest fields to get into self-employment because there's just a dearth of accountants. What was I going to go with that? Oh, and we get a lot of young people with the same kind of question, like, oh, well, what about this? Just hear me out, because you are in the same situation that he was. He's like, I'm in the Big Four, bro, which is like the dude bro version for nerdy accountants. And you're missing the bigger picture from the trees, or the trees from the forest, or the forest from the trees, and all that. And that you think you have to have a career working for somebody else. Because you're pigeonholing, you got the horse blinders on. You're like, I'm in the Big Four. I'm the best I could possibly be. No, you're not. Matter of fact, the Big Four is no longer the cup of tea that it once was. And also, conversation me and Chad were having is how only the true believers like you, who went to school for accounting or went to school for finance or whatever, and you got to get the Big Four, there's a dwindling percentage of people who covet things like the Big Four or investment banking. Like back in the 80s, like, yeah, when the movie Wall Street was out and everyone was a Reaganite, and sure, okay. What was the one? Was that with Michael Douglas, was Wall Street? Anyway, it was very popularized. But now, after they got caught with the pants down in the housing bubble, not to mention the savings, loan, and Asian currency credit, but we won't go into that. It's kind of your viewpoint of investment banking is kind of dwindling. It's becoming the minority of viewpoint. It's like Hollywood. It's the same thing in the 80s when the girls were hot and they had blonde hair. It was fun. Good old times. And Van Halen played a lot of music. It was great old times. Now, who wants to work for Hollywood? So the first thing I'd say is that you are somehow, however you came through education, your, what do they call it? Your career training or career education at the school you went to, I think it's a little outdated. So I'll read through it. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. Like, who wants to work in investment banking? Hey, fuckface, please keep me anonymous. Thank you in advance for the previous video. I've since lost 10 pounds, got rid of that shitty haircut, and got new glasses. There we go. Anyway, I'm met with another dilemma. I feel as if I made a mistake regarding my career choice being an accountant. I'm working towards my CPA, and I work in audit in one of the large public accounting firms. All right, well, I don't know if that's Big Four, but you on paper, in your mind, you think you're doing the best you can. Like, I got you. You have check boxes. I make a lot of money where I am, but I see my peers who went to college with back in New York City on LinkedIn who are investment bankers that get pissed off since they seem to be more respected, even though they're complete morons who only got there through the ability to socialize in college. That's investment banking. It's sales. When I researched how much they make, it made me question if the CPA is even worth it when these dude bro cocksuckers and their female equivalents work not even a third of what I did, but made twice my salary and have better exit opportunities into private equity with more interesting work. Do they now? My coworkers seem to hate their jobs, and I feel that my job is unfulfilling. Additionally, many of these large public accounting firms are outsourcing a lot of their work to India, making me nervous about my job security and future. Right, because you keep looking at your employer. You keep thinking that a successful career involves an employer, which it can. Nothing wrong with the Big Four. Well, there's a lot wrong with the Big Four, but if you were to become, like, say, a principal or a partner or junior partner or whatever, yeah, okay. But that's not the best career you can have in accounting. But that's because you keep thinking you got to have an employer, and those are the metrics that you're measuring yourself by. I just making me nervous about my job security and future. I just want to be respected in the financial services and corporate field for the work I do. Respected. Do you want to be respected or do you want to make money? Do you want a good life or do you want to be respected? Very important. Respect from who? Respect from what? You're going to answer that in the follow-up email you got, but respected. Dude, you pay me $20 million to play a kazoo on a street. I'll go play a kazoo on a street. Who get fuck respect? Where's the fucking money? That's respect. The amount of money you are paid is the respect. Not like, oh my God, a bunch of dipshit 23-year-old know-nothing college liberal art major girls think, ooh, investment banker, pretty. And I asked, like, well, who respects investment bankers now? Well, we'll see how you answered. Financial services and corporate field for the work I do. I've seen the fields people generally respect: investment banking, strategic consulting, private equity, venture capital. Who are these people that respect those fields? See, I'm fat. Like, I'm being serious question. Was your dad a CPA and you went kind of the same, like you didn't step outside to see what was happening? I don't think anyone respects finance guys in general anymore. Not after the housing crisis. And not after the fintech bros and kind of the smallish, semi-quasi fintech collapses. Not really collapse, but a slowing down and all the fucking worthless businesses they financed. They've been on steroids with ZERP interest policy. I mean, just a slight little bit of research, you're like, it's not as impressive as it used to be. The people I've seen in these fields are your typical rank and file trendy idiots who are average intelligence at most. Many of them don't even have financial backgrounds, but it's their worthless liberal arts degrees from Ivy League schools that any tool can receive high marks in. Ivy League. What has happened to the Ivy League? God, I really want to know, like, are you on the East Coast? I didn't ask. Like, is this what you think? Have you not seen what's happened to, like, the Ivy League, especially Harvard, and how it's a joke? It's do you still think there's hot blonde women in California with big tits in Hollywood? Are people driving Ferraris over there? Is there a bunch of Democrats shitting in the streets? You tell me. I'm starting to think that if I could complete an accounting degree and sit for the CPA, then why shouldn't I try to do investment banking where I know I would run laps around these idiots they let into? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it is not how smart you are. It's not investment banking or finance in general. Right? It's sales. It's personality. That's why they get the job. You're almost the opposite of what they want. I mean, yeah, they like to have a CPA because you got a good financial mind, of course. But that's not what it is. It is personality. It is sales. It's getting people to invest the money. That's what it is. It's not, oh, you're really accurate and precise. I know your analysts have to be accurate and precise. But the guys that make it, it's personality. It's not the best necessarily. You're a great accountant. The two are not interchangeable. Investment bankers would make horrible accountants. They just embezzle a shit ton of fucking money, ask for a government bailout, and they're like, where's the zero interest rates? I need a bailout. All right. And accountants would make horrible investment bankers because you got no personality. I know I'm generalizing. But you seem to like be hung up on this money thing, but we're going to address that later. I'm tired of being seen as a cost center and someone who doesn't provide value. You provide value because I asked you what your salary is, and you were paid mid-70s. There's your value. As an economist, I could tell you that's what your value is because someone agreed to pay you $70,000 plus. I want a video response. To make mid-70s. These people say they make $150,000 plus. They're in their mid-20s. I asked them how old. Well, let me I'll read the questions that I asked. Okay, well, what do you make and what do these people say they make? And how old are these people? Also, how many hours do you average per week over the year? I know it's busy in busy season, but what about the year? Why do you care if they're respected? What do you mean by respect? Who respects investment bankers? I want a video response. Mid-70s, these people make twice that, 150,000 plus. They're in their mid-20s. On average, I work 40 hours a week plus 60 hours depending on busy season, of course. By respect, I mean clients tend to treat bankers and consultants better than auditors. That's what you see. All right. So let's go through the numbers first. All right. Did some research, and it's kind of a skewed market, right? Investment bankers, depending on the rank that they're at, your friends are not lying. They're making around 150 plus. That's your average entry level analyst, and we're going New York. Okay, New York, which is a disproportionate percentage of the investment banking. That's where Wall Street is. And so that doesn't mean there aren't investment banks in other major metros, but that's the place. All right. So you're looking between 150 to maybe 225,000. That includes a bonus for entry level. You get kicked up a little bit, more the mid 200s, plus a bonus pushing you into 3 if you're an associate. Then I think it's like manager or something, and then like vice president or someone of which you would not get promoted. Of which to get to that level, there is so much dick sucking and dude broing. Dude, did you enjoy middle school? Yeah, well, guess what fucking investment banking is? It's just being the most popular person in douchebag and getting in with JB and JB getting in with JL and QT. Oh my God, are you a Harvard man? Boy, yes. I had the dildo shoved up my ass by the affirmative action higher president. Well, yeah, okay, my goodness. You wonder why there's a housing crisis and a bailout every 15 years. All right, but the numbers, yeah, they make roughly twice of what you do for that age. You said mid-20s, so I'm going to assume analysts, okay? Maybe if they're a little older, they might be associates. But yeah, they're making twice of what you are, maybe even a little bit more, all right? New York. You know what it costs to live in New York? All right, so now immediately you have to do a cost of living adjustment. Now I went and I compared it to Dallas, which is a major metro. It's not too small, it's not too big. And then if you make $50,000 in New York, do you know what you need to make in Dallas to have the same purchasing power? $22,583. It is more than twice expensive to live in New York City than it is in a major metro like Dallas. I don't know where you live. Like if you're in some small rink-a-dink town and you're making 70 grand, in other words, with purchasing power, adjusting for purchasing power, you're making more than them. You throw in New York income taxes. Let's say you're in Texas. You don't have any state or local income taxes. You're definitely making more than them. And then the third thing, I don't know if you knew this. I don't know if you've been to Dallas or New York. New York fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. Have you been to Battery Park? Have you been to Manhattan? Presumably where most of them are. That's where the financial district is. I mean, it's not bad for a major metro, but fuck New York. It's cold. It snows. There's, again, adult Democrats shitting in the street. You got crime. It stinks. It's expensive. That's already baked into the figures, though. You can't just pick up in your car and go. Like, where's park? You don't get. See, you're young. Do you know how awesome it is to live in a boring ass suburb and be able to park wherever the fuck you want because the business owners built in parking? Like, you don't got some meter maid hunting you down. You don't have to Uber all over the place because you can't afford a car because you can't find a place. You can have a car. We're just talking purchasing power here with this $22,500. I didn't say anything about like the way better standard of living because of all the amenities you can afford or have, like a car. And you're in New York. Local income, I think local, or maybe it's a sales tax. State income tax, holy shit. New York State, fuck that. Snow, fuck that. Parking, fuck that. I don't even know if there's anything cultural left in New York. I know they got like, the Statue of Liberty in the buildings. Really? New York. There's a billion other places that's better than that town. They got to live there. Sure, it's cool for the first year or so, but trust you me, dude, after that year goes by, it's a fucking pain in the ass. So they're not making more than you. They don't have as high a standard of living, assuming you were to live in Dallas, Texas, based on your income. I'm assuming you're not in a major metro. It's just, you're already making more in terms of purchasing power. I mean, if you're going to do that, like, oh my God, they quoted me inflated dollars. Well, why don't you just convert your salary to Korean won or Japanese yen? I think the won is like 1,000 or 2,000 per US dollar. You'd have a salary in the millions compared to them. You're not comparing apples to apples, is what I'm saying. And if you adjust for a geographic inflation, you're making more. All right. We did the cost of living. Hours worked. That's very important. Rookie investment bank, you're looking at 80 to 100 hours of work week. Now, I saw an article a couple of years ago where they're like starting to scale that down because Gen Z is a bunch of lazy people. And that's somewhat of a generalization. I think they just actually got some self-respect for themselves. And I'm working 100 hours a week. But they're busy season all the time. You got busy season 4 months out of the year. 3 really, because nothing really happens in January. And these guys are working. Now you factor that in, they're making way less than you are per hour. Way less. And you're just and I'm not offending you at all. I don't mean it, but you're still a relatively entry-level person. Now you got pretty good credentials, a very good education. So you're not like the janitor or the secretary at the accounting firm, but you are an entry-level accountant at a pretty good accounting firm. All right. And when you factor in how many hours you work, you make way more per hour, way more. Now, yes, if you have enough balls in your mouth and you jerked off the right guy from Yale and you happen to, well, that's another thing. Don't even get started about nepotism. Holy shit. You know, they went to the Ivy League. That ought to tell you enough. Yes, you can make whatever director or something up there. You're bringing in $400K plus some hefty bonuses. Yeah, you could be a rainmaker, make multiple millions of dollars, and they might make a movie about you. Guess what percentage of all the investment bankers that is? It's an exceptional few. And for you to get in there, almost the exact same amount of dick sucking you're going to have to do to go become a fucking junior partner or principal, whatever the fucking they call it, over at these big 4 accounting firms, or even the firm that you're at that's regional or large or whatever. What I'm trying to point out is not only is it sophomore and a continuation of middle school, generally speaking, or frat boy in the investment banking world. Whether you're in accounting, working for the big 4, or whatever firm you're working for, or working for the bulge bracket, still working for someone, you got the fucking blinders on. So when you factor in all the hours worked, you're probably making more than them. And then, who did you respect? Respect from clients trying to treat bankers and consultants better than auditors. Well, okay, buddy, that's because you're an auditor. You're there to find bad shit. They don't like you. Like, do you like it when, I don't know, the IRS agent shows up? Do you like it when, I don't know. I'm trying to think what don't you like? I mean, are you excited to go to the dentist? Investment, really, the salesman, you're saying people like the sale, like, come on out, let's get drinks. I don't think they do the strip clubs anymore. I think that's kind of a bygone era. Really, the guy are you telling me the girl with the perky tits that comes in from Merck or Pfizer and tries to sell the doctor on getting whatever new drug it is? And oh my God, let's go out for dinner. I'll take you out for sushi. Tee-hee. All right. I love you, doctor. Schmoopsie poopsies. Bye. Okay. I'll recommend this life-destroying drug to everybody. Really, those people are more fun than the auditors. No kidding, really. Huh. The frat guys, whatever the drawbacks might be, they're more fun to hang out with than the nerdy auditor accountant. No kidding. Huh. You mean the stripper girl, which they do have drawbacks, is more fun to hang out with than the librarian girl. Oh. That's not respect. That's the nature of the job. Respect. You want to talk again? This is where you got to get out of your echo chamber. You probably went to a business school. I'm assuming your parents must have been something professional. I'm also assuming you live on the east side of the Mississippi, because it's kind of this dwindling echo chamber where it's like, oh yeah, investment bankers. Like, I haven't heard anyone under 30 say that. It's kind of weird. Chad still runs into people who are like, oh yeah, big 4. I got to get to the big 4, Deloitte and Touche, bro. And he's like, no, you don't want to, but it is dwindling. And in the grand scheme of things, you look at the investment bankers, all right, do they serve an economic purpose? Yes. Vital economic purpose? Yeah. I mean, if they do they construct the deals right, don't need a constant bailout all the time. Sure. But their reputation is not that good. I'm thinking down the road. Remember lawyers, doctors and lawyers. That was the big thing. Oh, my lawyers are a fucking joke now. Because you got 2 generations of ambulance chasers and lawyers that need student loan bailouts. Investment bankers are kind of halfway there already. They still make money. They still serve a purpose. You get a rainmaker, they're worth their weight in gold. But bankers? I worked in banking, not investment banking, commercial banking. Bankers? I think most people want to bury them in a shallow grave, to be perfectly honest. Nobody likes bankers. More so, nobody respects them, at least outside of the capacity that you're seeing them. Now, do ditzy, flighty, idiotic 24-year-old college girl graduates from, like, say, Middlebury, do they think investment bankers? Ooh, investment bankers. There's a piece of me that wants to do like how to find a rich man. I'm like, yeah, is he a banker? Well, chances are he doesn't have a lot of money, actually, because they fucking piss it away. They're in debt. Although that was the commercial banking side. It's just shiny bauble, shiny treat, told to like heard in Harlequin romance book. Ooh, investment banker. Is that the respect? Because here's the other thing. Fuck respect. You want money. Right. And I would also say, fuck money. You really want freedom, but you're pretty young. You still are under this conditioning that you got to be an impressive status person working in Wall Street, bro. Go visit New York. You haven't been there? Go visit New York. You tell me how fun it is getting around that piece of shit island. Fucking hell. And then what? Just because you heard in media, not even social media, just TV. Oh, girls like investment bankers and astronauts. Well, sure, I guess they do. You don't have time for that. You need to make money. You have a great career right now. You have a great degree. And it could make a lot more money. And if you could just let go of this fucking respect, because ultimately, here's the thing. Who do you want to respect you? A bunch of assholes from like middle school? A bunch of American jerk-offs that everything's about, like, do you have the right car? Do you got the right shirt? Are you going to the right party? Or would you rather just make a shit ton of money per hour, like in 20 hours a week, and then go do whatever the fuck you want for the rest of your life? Now, if you want status, I can't argue out of status. I can't argue and point out why that's stupid, why the opinions of other people, even if they're respectable or not, doesn't matter. To me, you're on this planet to enjoy life as much as possible. And that means working for other people as little as possible. Therefore, making as much money per hour as much as possible, which you're doing more than the investment bankers on average. But it's just my prediction, because you're misinformed about what's important in life. You would waste your time, whatever, getting a master's of science in finance or getting your CFA. You go over to Wall Street, you wouldn't fit in culturally, I'm just going to assume, because you're an accountant, you're not an investment banker, you're not a party bro. You'd flunk out, flop out, whatever, you wouldn't make associate, and then you'd be back to square one in this position that you're on now. And even if you were to get success, let's say you got in there, you had the personality and all that, dude, you think it's fun all the time partying? You think it's fun all the time having to take out clients, flying all over? Yeah, it sounds fun like when you're in your 20s. Wait till in your 30s, you've done it for a decade. Like, oh, fuck this shit. I don't want to go to another site and look at this crap. Oh, fuck. And by the way, they do real work. This isn't like they're just drinking booze all the time and banging hookers, all right? They do have to go through a tremendous amount of research. They're looking at spreadsheets. They're crunching numbers. They're calling their fucking people over at the company, keeping tabs on it. What did the fucking inventory look like this month? Or whatever, all this nitty-gritty detail. It's real work on top of it. Or does 20 hours a week making $150 an hour, where you have a nice little car and you own a house and there's no traffic and you get to go fishing every afternoon, if so you like, or you get to go play volleyball with your buddies, and you probably not only make as much, if not more, adjusting for purchasing power, but you have a much better life than living in New York City. And that's what I'm trying to point out to you here. And so, got all that. I just want to make sure I covered everything. All right, cool. And so what I'm going to recommend you do, tune into the Elkins Accounting Hour. I want you to binge. Oh, shit. Now that I don't have to read anymore, let me do this properly. This doesn't count unless I do it proper, bro. Okay. Now I got my investment banker attire on. Here we go. Go tune into the Elkins Accounting Hour. All right. I want you to listen to how Chad set it up, because what I think you should do, get your CPA, continue working for the Big Four. Then what I would do is open up the tax practice, taking only online clients. You do not take in-person clients. Chad goes over this in a lot of detail. You bill out anywhere around, depending as, a couple years experience that you got. If you become more proficient at it, you could charge up to $100, $150, maybe even $200 an hour. I think Chad charges 400, 500 for a corporate return. And then I don't know how many hours a week annually Chad works, but he doesn't work full time. He works 80 hours a week during tax season, and then he's off until extension season. So the guy only technically works 5 months a year at, admittedly 80, 90 hours a week. But then he does what he wants. He flies down to Dallas, visits the candidate girl that he has. He comes, hangs out with me over in South Dakota every once in a while. And he makes more than enough money to live. Now, he lives in Chicago, which is an equivalent shithole to New York. Actually, no, Chicago's way better than New York. I apologize to the people of Chicago. I didn't mean to insult you like that. Actually, Chicago is quite affordable, too. But anyway, my point is he works from home. It took him, I think, 2 years. He was up and running. Very similar situation to yours. CPA, Big Four. Said, fuck this shit. I'm not going to deal with this shit anymore. The politics, which you'll run into in spades, you'll run into threefold over in investment banking. He said, I can do this on my own. Has a nice little website. He took in a bunch of tax clients. He's weeded them out. Make sure he's got the best ones. And I don't know what the guy makes, but for 5 months a year of work, he's got to be clearing at least $150,000. So double that, because maybe even double in a little bit of change. That's $300,000 effective full time. And he's not working 80 hours a week. He gets to sleep in. He's his own boss, and he gets to work wherever he wants because taxes can be done online. Now, I don't know which one you want. And at a certain point, I'll just tell you now, because you're in your 20s, I'm just going to tell you this right now. You won't give a fuck what other people think about you when you're making your own money and doing what you want. I mean, go look at my my Instagram account. Half the pictures of me giving people the finger while I'm out hiking in the middle of the day on a Tuesday, because that's real living. That you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me enough to go live in a major metro, let alone New York, work with a bunch of douchebags who got by because, mommy fucked the right Harvard man and he gets to go to Harvard on some kind of fucking cocksucking Nepo baby agreement. He goes and works for PJ because PJ knew PB and BP knew AR, and they all went to whatever, Yale back in the day. And then you got to continue this fucking middle school popularity game on top of doing actual real analytical work on top of all that fucking bullshit. So you could go live in a Democrat feces filled New York shithole, paying half your fucking money out in taxes. Or you could chill out in Dallas, Texas. You could chill out. St. Petersburg, Florida. I really like St. Petersburg. That's one of my favorite towns. That's a nice town to live in. Or here's another idea. Let's say there's a big ass snowstorm coming in New York. All right. And all your bros who are like, oh, I made managing director, bro, bro. Good for you. Well, they're stuck on that island during the snowstorm. You're like, ooh, a snowstorm. I think I'm going to fly down to Tampa. Why? Because I can. Or maybe you're already down there because you don't like paying the ass-raisening New York tax rates. And you have zero income tax rates, state income tax rates in Florida. Oh, it's going to get a little hot in Florida. I think I want to go up into Tennessee, into the Smoky Mountains, and I'll grab my laptop, do my typety-type. And then I'm going to go get hammered that night. Then I'm going to go ride my motorcycle on Dragon's Tail. And then I'm going to go fishing in one of their streams. I'm sick of Tennessee. There are too many mosquitoes here. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to Montana and go skiing. I'm going to bring my laptop. I'm going to do my typety-type. I'm going to do work from Montana. Oh, shit. I don't think I like the U.S. no more. You know what? I heard Thailand's very interesting. I'm going to go over to Thailand. I'm going to work from Thailand. Meanwhile, hey, man, we went to a really cool whiskey bar in New York. Spent $30 a shot. Fucking wear the ties on the head. I don't think they do. That's probably an 80s thing. Well, which life do you want? And who's richer? You're this close, dude. You're this close from being a self-employed CPA who calls his own shots, makes between $100 and $200 an hour, especially if you get your CPA. Being able to work wherever you want and answering to fucking no one. And you are giving a shit if the guy from Sigma Phi or whatever douchebag career oriented frat house over at whatever, Brown or Cornell, You're worried about what they think. Do your 2 years time at the Big Four. Get it on your resume. All right. Start learning how to do. I know you could. And by the way, I'm not familiar with audit. Chad Elkins could probably tell you, dude, if you're in audit, you could go consult on your own. There's something there. But man, I'd switch up, learn how to do some taxes, open up your own practice, and tell all employers to fuck off and go be free, while ironically making more money, especially per hour, than an investment banker with less dicks up your ass and dicks in your mouth. So there. Dude, bro, Cappy has spoken. I also did a little bit of, I did do some research on the salaries of the investment bankers. They actually kind of, ever since interest rates went up, the number of deals, the volume of deals have gone down. And it's down to like kind of, it's pretty stagnant, which is what I figured. I'm like, who fucking, really? Who needs these guys anymore? All right. Let's go to the super chats. Wiz Division Productions, $2. New York is real life Gotham City. Avoid it. Gotham City's cool because it's got Batman. And Gotham City, people didn't shit in the streets back in like the 60s and 50s and roughly when Batman started. Ben, 2024, $5. I'm a junior. I plan to do a master's in accounting. What should I do in my senior year while waiting for the MSA program to start? Not Inuit. Chad recommends, it's not going to hurt you. What's the main one? QuickBooks. Sorry, QuickBooks. I'd also do my senior year. We're kind of towards the end of tax season, but if you want to get into taxes, come extension time. What I would do is go put in with H&R Block. H&R Block? Oh, no, bro. You won't be popular, bro. Yeah, but you learn how to do taxes. Then you could start doing taxes for people. You don't even get your CPA if you don't want to sit for it. You can go get your enrolled agent. You could probably even do that now. That's what I would do. In other words, start making a path towards self-employment. But yeah, getting skills certified in different accounting software. Chad has some super CPA, super nerd software that he does all of his taxes with. And if you want, go shoot him an email, elkincpa.com. Maybe wait till the end of tax season. Because Cappy, what the fuck are all these fucking emails coming in? I'm fucking pissed off. But yeah, I would get QuickBooks before I do Intuit. Murph Wilds. Is that a girl? Murph? Looks like a girl. Why are you called Murph? Unless the dog's called Murph and the dog's sending in the super chat. The dog who gave super chats. Do accounting for 2 years, then get into accounting system. I don't know what accounting system is, but thanks, Murph. Dog or woman. High powered, $10. I know CPA that makes his money for the year doing people's taxes. If he wants anything else, he just works more. He takes more than half of the year off. Yeah, exactly. Dude, if you want to do van life, you could do it. And the only reason I'm advocating so much is that's essentially what I do, but I'm not an accountant. I'm an economist. I wrote books. I collect money through, consulting and what the hell is it? Royalties, this ridiculous stuff I do. But I drive piece of shit cars. Do you know how much fun? People still make fun of me. Like, come on, Cappy, loosen up the purse strings a little bit. Same people, I don't know how you do it. You can just travel wherever you want. I don't get it. Like, I think it's like the last gasp of, because you're still fresh out of college. You're still in the K through college education system mentally. Like, oh, I got to be popular. Fuck being popular. Be happy. Be free. Let these guys pay the extra taxes so that you can drive on the public roads. My truth, the king. Wear your Patagonia puffer vest. Oh yeah, you got to be a fintech bro. Oh, you got to get that Patagonia vest in your latte. You do, bro. Wear your Patagonia puffer vest. You do, bro, fraud. You should be ashamed of yourself investing toxic MBS and CDOs, mortgage-backed securities, and collateralized debt obligations of different pension funds to crash the economy, bro. Oh, by the way, if you guys are interested in actually my banking background, I have my very first book I wrote, which got me free from the fucking industry. I know people I work with who are still in fucking banking. Guess what? They're not having fun. I have my first book linked below, Behind the Housing Crash. That doesn't focus on investment banking. Well, I guess it does because you investment bankers sold the collateralized debt obligations, repackaged them, and sold them to old ladies' pension funds. To the Norwegians, that was my favorite. I hope your sovereign wealth fund helps you now. Yeah, so you can read through that. You just learn what, by the way, to the client, read that book. That's what you're going to work with. Banker douchebags. Banker douchebags. Read through that and say, do you want to work in that environment? Well, can't you adjust the collateral a little bit? No, I fucking can't. You're not a team player. I will fucking put you in a ditch. In Minecraft. Ironically, I bet you could actually make life-ending threats to bankers and people will be like, well, let it go. I know it violates the policy, but we don't like them either. We do not advocate violence. It is all entertainment and sarcasm. Anyway, so that's available on Amazon. You can read through that. Everyone should, before you even think about majoring in finance or go work in banking, go read that book or go watch The Big Short. My Truth, The King, $5. Where's DJ Aftershock when we need him to call you out for not being a true investment bro and be able to hack it Deloitte and Touche, PricewaterhouseCoopers. That's those are accounting firms. Those aren't investment banks. Yeah, I just couldn't hack it, bro. Like, meanwhile, I knew some that did actually go to jail. Go look up, where are they now 15 years later? By the way, kid, are there rich investment bankers? Of course there is. Yeah, of course. Most of these people fucking burn out. They don't save their money. And they're like, they fucking leverage their other people's money, bro, which technically is the nature of finance. It's like, oh yeah, you bet on the wrong thing. I don't know what happens to wash up investment bankers. You all go work for Wall Street. You go back home and live with daddy. Daddy, is the third summer home ready over in Connecticut, father? Justified Basega. Justify's doing the same thing. He's going to buy a place down in Mexico. We're all going to go visit him for 6 months out of the year. Lack of CPAs equals me charging an arm and a leg one day. Absolutely justified. Keep on going, man. Just keep on going. Just big house. I want a big house. I want my house. I want my room to have all windows facing the ocean. Okay. I want them cleaned every week too. Ben, 2024, $5. Does what school I go to for a Master of Accounting for CPA, software for if you're familiar? No, it doesn't matter. Ben, it does not matter. Go to a school that has an accredited accounting program. That's it. I would even recommend online schools as long as they're accredited, but you have to double check. So where are you? You're in Massachusetts. You need to check with the Massachusetts CPA Society or their CPA board and find out, in order to sit for the CPA exam, if you went to, say, Western Governors University, would that qualify? Okay. There's some other things like where if you clept out of some classes, you may not have the credit requirements, but make damn sure you know that if you go to a school, you get, and it's accredited, that you can sit for the CPA exam. And there's fucking school, especially with the Ivy Leagues, porking their sisters, basically. Just fucking, they're screwing the pooch, man. Just what a joke they've become. The idea of college rankings, it doesn't matter anymore. College is a joke. Get an accredited degree at the cheapest school possible that allows you to sit for the CPA. Because when they see CPA, no one's going to look to see where the fuck you went to school. Justified Mistake, I need $2. You're invited to my family's ranch in Jalisco, Mexico. Where's Jalisco? Let's look that up. Jalisco, Mexico. I wouldn't mind hanging out you are by Puerto Vallarta. I was just imagining that's where you would be on the Pacific, but yeah, there you are, Puerto Vallarta. I would love, if it wasn't for the frickin' cartels, I would love nothing more than just bum around Mexico on a motorcycle. That would probably more northern Mexico. I'm not a big fan of the jungle. I could just bum around, go to Copper Canyon, have a good old time. Oh, that'd be fun. All right, that's it. Link below. Behind the housing crash. But more importantly, Bachelor Pad Economics. Please, boys and girls, if you're listening, please stop chasing the money. Please stop living in middle school and high school. Please aim for dollars per hour, self-employment, remote employment, and freedom. Please aim for minimalism so you don't have to buy ridiculously overpriced shit that you just have to pay off later on. Please be free, and you're going to live a much better and happier life. And for the love of God, stop thinking or stop worrying about what inferior people think about you. Honest to God, you're worried about what bankers think about you. Might as well worry about what Hollywood people think about you. All right, that's it. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.